welcome to this week's episode of ADHD with me, Donna, sorcerer on all the things that unravel tea,
and me, Sarah, Wheelie Mama, intuitive empowerment coach, author, and mum of 3.
So, welcome to today's episode. Sarah doesn't know what we're going to talk about yet.
The joys of being intuitive.
But not a mind reader.
Not a mind reader, as previously discussed.
Mm-hmm.
So, Donna, what's in your cup and what's on your mind today?
So today I have got a wonderful green tea. It was actually, I think I've mentioned it before on this podcast. It's Cloud Mist, my award winner from this year. And yeah, I mean, even though it's starting to get colder outside, I just keep on drinking it, and I have to be careful to not drink my whole stock. And what's on my mind, I've noticed with a lot of neurodivergent people, it's kind of like how to spot somebody neurodivergent without knowing. Always apologizing and saying, oh, I didn't mean it like this, or having to explain things. And had an interesting discussion just before we came on this. And I love getting feedback, and I find it difficult to work on something. I mean, if you don't know what's wrong, how can you work on it? How can you improve? How can you, how do you even know unless somebody tells you? And there was a comment made, and it was basically just, this is the feedback, but it came with like the whole, I didn't mean this as criticism or this, and I'm like, I know you didn't. I appreciate this. But I just thought that was really interesting because being neurodivergent, it's kind of like we're trying to always squash ourselves into the spaces made by neurotypical people. Mm-hmm. And neurotypical people are more likely to, I would say, on the whole, obviously everyone's different, react in a bad way if you give them honest feedback.
Okay, that's very interesting. It's a very interesting statement, and there's a lot to unpack there. So in your experience, anytime that you've given a neurotypical person some honest feedback, it's been received badly, would you say?
Yes, generally, yes. And it's like, often when people ask for honest feedback, they don't really mean that. If they're neurotypical, that's what I've discovered.
Yeah. Give me honest feedback, but only the good stuff, please.
Yeah. Just tell me all the good things about myself.
That's fair.
Anyway, we'll ask the question, because I'll also forget to ask you the question. What is in your cup and what is on your mind, Sarah?
So no prizes for guessing that what's in my cup at this moment in time is pumpkin spice coffee, because it's pumpkin spice season and that's just how it is. What's on? Yes, I love it. All things pumpkin. For those who obviously can't see through the audio, because why would you be able to? Donna has just produced a lovely pumpkin. So yes, that's what's in my cup. What's on my mind? I'm now currently sitting here trying to unpack what you've just said. What else is on my mind? I am in the midst of what could be potentially overwhelming. I've just come back from a work trip in just over a month. I'm on another one. And then in the early part of December, I have another one, and all of them are booked. So it's like, I tend to like to compartmentalize my life and do one thing at a time, one big thing. And now I feel like I'm doing 3 big things all at once, because I'm still recovering from the last one, while with one eye on the next one, and then thinking about the third one. So it's quite a lot. To add an extra layer of complexity, normally I have a travel companion, basically from I leave the house, right the whole way through the trip. This time she can't come, so there's a good portion of the journey I've got to do by myself. Now, I'm very aware that I'm a 42-year-old woman, fully grown, adult, who actually is responsible for tiny humans. But when I go out of my comfort surroundings, I guess familiar surroundings, I feel like a child. And there's just so much. But I know I can do it. I know I will do it. But I mean, the mental gymnastics that it takes to actually get yourself to follow these things through. So that's currently what I'm wrestling with.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
And then me making you record the podcast as well.
No, it's all good. It's all good because this is part of our normal routine now almost. So I always love these, but and also it's nice to talk through things and kind of then hear them back as
Mhm.
well. Then I can rationalize with myself, which is kind of nice. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, so you're using the podcast as therapy.
like self therapy. Yeah, almost, almost.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I never thought about it like that actually. Now I will. When I'm editing the podcast, I'll be like, oh yeah, that thing. And then forget about that thing.
So let's go back to what you were chatting about there.
Things coming with an apology, or even feeling like you need to apologize for something like that when you're just answering and responding in the way that you've been asked.
Hmm. Okay, just so I'm clear on this. So you're when are we still talking about giving feedback to a neurotypical person and then almost feeling like you need to caveat it with, oh, I'm sorry, like,
Yes. Yes.
okay. I wonder, wow, that's just it's crazy. We have something in work that we kind of say to each other a little bit tongue in cheek, like feedback is a gift, and sometimes you can be like, that was absolutely horrendous. Like someone does a piece of work and it's horrible and it's got to be redone or whatever, and you go, that's awful. And it's like feedback is a gift, and it is almost like that tongue in cheek kind of thing of like nobody likes being told that something is wrong. But like you said, how can you fix it if you don't know it's broken? Or
Hmm.
how can you if you don't know that the thing that you do is annoying somebody or irritating somebody or having a negative impact, how can you change it if you don't know that
Hmm.
it's having that impact? So
Hmm.
then I wonder why it's less a case for neurodivergent people. Is it because we automatically think our brains are not fully functioning and we're doing things wrong by default, that it's almost like we welcome the chance to level up or something? What is that? Why is it so differently received?
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if there is something in that. I mean, there's also a lot to unpack of the whole fact that we have been conditioned our whole lives that we're doing something wrong because
Mhm.
we don't function like other people. Or like I don't say I'm gonna say like other people, like the kind of the world is set up for neurotypical people
Yes,
on the
yeah.
whole. Yeah, I wonder if that is the case, and it's sad that that is the situation in the world today, currently.
Mhm.
Hopefully it improves. Yeah, that's interesting.
Or is it a case that neurodivergent brains, that we are aware that we are not the center of the universe and we are aware that other people's opinions and feelings matter, and we are actually being more holistic in our approach to things?
I don't know. That's great kind of ideas that you brought up there. I actually don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah, because I mean, I definitely think with my kids, and none of them have been diagnosed with anything, so it's not even. But I definitely think that the younger generations are just generally more evolved. Like my 3-year-old is currently teaching himself how to read. That is not something that I would have ever had the wherewithal to do at age 3. Like, but he is literally teaching himself how to read. And even when you ask him, "Who taught you how to read that?" And he's like, I did it for me." And I do think that humanity as a whole is evolving more rapidly than ever before, and like the younger generations of us are next level anyway. But I kind of think sometimes what is labeled as neurodivergent is almost like a bridge between old thinking and new think, like
Okay.
you're more evolved, and we are like the bridge in between with a foot in both camps.
I'm confused.
I don't know. So if we think that the kids of today are more evolved, higher level species, let's just say, and then like our parents and grandparents are old world human, and then we are the bit in between, the bridge between old and more highly evolved.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose there's always going to be a bit of a spectrum as well. So, it's kind of always walking, or you'd hope anyway, moving forward. I'm trying to gather my thoughts because I have all the thoughts and I can't make them have words. It's difficult.
Yeah, no, it sure is. Just hopefully this doesn't throw you off your thought pattern, but I'm just when you said that the world is primarily designed for neurotypical brains, my instant thought was some of the most innovative and most biggest advancements have been done by neurodivergent brains. So isn't it ironic that they or we are creating for the
Hmm.
neurotypical
Yeah. Yeah.
with a neurodivergent brain?
So yeah, no, I mean I've been aware of that. There's a lot of kind of historical people that we would now kind of recognize as being neurodivergent
Yeah,
more, but obviously there was nothing like any diagnosis pathways and all the things.
yeah,
Come on, there's still
yeah,
not much of that, like hundreds of years ago. So it's interesting that some of these people were never recognized for their brilliance when they were alive as well. I mean, obviously there are people who were, but and that's really sad actually.
yeah. And I'm just trying to think what would they have been labeled as? Like
Mm.
before, like crazy, like mad scientist kind of thing, like
Eccentric,
eccentric.
eccentric.
That is exactly the word. Yes, like and you say you're no good with words. Literally, you just got there before me.
I can visualize the words most of the time, but I can't put my finger on how to make it come
Yeah,
out, which is a bit strange, but hey, that's how
yeah.
things work.
That was my little boy described it perfectly one day. When he's in school and they're doing like comprehension on a story or something, and the teacher will ask him a question, and he says, "Mummy, all the answers come to me at once. Every single aspect of the story, all the things, and I don't know which thing she wants me to say." He just like doesn't say anything. So I've tried to help him to like just, it's your opinion, just say one thing. It doesn't matter, just
That's
say,
amazing.
yeah,
I adore the way that he's described that because that's exactly what happens. And then it's the overwhelm, and then that's very much like me. All the things happen, and I'm like, I don't even know what to do, so I just keep my mouth shut.
yeah, yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even the teacher's been so good with him as well about like it's your personal opinion. It can't be wrong. So even if it's different than everybody else's, it's still valid because it's yours.
Oh, that's amazing.
Been really good at trying to encourage him to vocalize his opinion. But he's
Hmm.
very much, I don't want to stand out. I don't want to be the only one who thinks like this, or so I'll not say anything until I get the lay of the land first. And I'm
Oh.
like, oh, come on, dude, it's fine. But it's nice, as you say, that he's able to verbalize for me what's going on internally, so I can help him to navigate. It's like, it's nice.
No, I really like that. And for some reason it came up. You got those like magnetic duck things at like fairgrounds and things like that.
Oh
And
yeah,
all the ducks are there and you're like, which one should I go for? I don't
yeah,
know why that came
yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
mind.
Exactly. No, that's it. That's it. Because he when he reads something, he takes it in such detail, so he could literally tell you anything and then he just is like, which thing am I supposed to focus on here, or which
Mhm.
thing will get the best reaction, I suppose.
Okay.
And then it's very good that he's able to verbalize it. And I mean, he's only 8, so we all we all struggle,
Hmm.
and it's skills that you develop as you get older. So, well, it's my hope that being able to verbalize such a kind of complex internal mechanism, for want of a better word, at such a young age, he'll actually be smashing communication by the time he's a teenager, hopefully, because when he's able to do that at so young.
Hmm.
What will
Hmm.
do in the next 5, 10 years.
Yeah, but I mean, even though he's not able to say that to the teacher, or he does just keep his mouth shut, but the fact that he can come home and say this to you, and then
Exactly.
you can, you've created such a safe space for him to feel comfortable to talk about that. That's
Mhm.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
Oh no, and you know what it is? I set up my home and my kind of family life and the whole how we function day to day in a way that works for me and the way that I would like to be able to show up and
Mm.
communicate with people and stuff. And I guess by me having the boundaries for myself, it just works for them as well. And so
Mhm.
it's not like I'm sitting there going, I need to do A, B, and C for them. I'm just naturally doing what works for me, and then it translates into things that is good for them as well. We're always changing and tweaking things, and
Hmm.
they'll call me out on stuff, but we kind of say like, we've all got a role to play in making this family a success and a nice place to be. So everybody knows that, and we can comfortably challenge each other in a way that's not going to be, no one's going to get punished for saying, I need some space or I need some, so
But
it's
within that, are you not cultivating a space that they don't feel like they need to apologize for their opinions? And
100%. Yeah. 100. Oh, actually, yeah, yeah, nice. Nice. I like that. Oh, that's awesome. I'm going to take that one
oh,
because, yeah,
definitely, yeah, yeah, that's
there are
incredible.
people that I know that actually say sorry like a punctuation mark.
Me,
I don't think there's definitely, I know people that are way more prone to it than you, but maybe we just have that relationship that we don't feel like we need to apologize to each other.
yeah, yeah, oh, definitely. I am like in a kind of a normal room, say, and I don't know if this person's going to accept me or whatever, or if they know me well enough to realize that I'm not meaning anything kind of malicious or anything like that, then I won't apologize every second word. But sometimes, like with people that I don't know, then I will. And it's just something that I do and I've always have done. And like sometimes if I get overwhelmed and things are too much, I'll do it to my husband as well. And it drives him
Oh,
nuts.
oh.
He's like, stop saying sorry. And yeah, it's but whoops. In like take for example, the local ADHD group, which I will actually put a link to in the show notes because I spoke about them before and I forgot to do that. When I did the like kind of pop-up tea tasting thing at their fundraiser, which was amazing, I didn't feel anything like that. Because I was like, right, all these people are aware of neurodivergent. They probably are ADHD or they know people. They will be accepting because they're there. They're there to support. It was one of the most relaxed events I've ever done because I didn't have that. I suppose it's a little bit of a mask as well. I didn't have to sort of go, oh, my brain did the thing. Oh no, how do I explain that to a person that has no clue? It's really interesting in different spaces. I definitely do find myself apologizing a lot. And yeah, with you, I don't because obviously you understand me enough.
It's so, yeah, so true. And like you said at the very start, it does make you notice other like certain traits in other people, and like hopefully, and that's, I know, one of the things about this podcast and why we wanted to do it is like to give people more comfort, I guess, in their own skin, to know that they're not the only person out there that does this or thinks this way or behaves this way, or that's, yeah, that's the whole point, isn't it? To have these conversations that are not, don't want to say not the norm, but not socially, that's even worse, socially acceptable, I was going to say.
Would say socially acceptable is
Yeah,
probably a good way of putting it. In some social circles, they would people would be like, what? And then other people will be in the back of their mind going, yes, this is me. But they don't want to speak up because then, yeah, then it snowballs.
exactly. It's good. And actually, you've given me a real gift in this conversation today, because I didn't even realize that the home environment that I've created will help my kids to be less apologetic for their existence, which is incredible. Because you're right, it is a default setting for
Mhm. For
for
us.
it's amazing. Thank you. I'm going to take that one. So today we talked about overwhelm when you've got lots and lots and lots of things happening simultaneously or one after the other, and how to navigate that. And we talked about apologizing as as a way of life and how to overcome that, I guess, and trying to create an environment for kids of today that they don't have to feel that they have to apologize for their very existence.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode of ADHD. You can find us on our own accounts. Yeah, you can probably find me best on Instagram at UnravelT, and Sarah can be found on TikTok. It's Wheelie Mama, isn't
Yeah, that's really
it?
more.
And you can get in touch with us across Instagram, which I finally posted on. And you can see pictures of us as well on Instagram because I've already done that too. Yay! And that's at ADHD the podcast, and also on threads at the same. If you could possibly also give us a wee review on your platform of choice and share this episode to anybody who might be interested as well. I'd also like to give a quick shout out to Pete for inspiring this episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will always take your constructive criticism or anything, and I appreciate it. See you all next week. See you. Hear you. You're going to hear us next week. Okay, right. Bye.